Evie, can you pod that up? If you, I want to show that to anybody that hasn't seen the Tom retirement video. Do you guys think he filmed it this morning? I heard actually he may have filmed this yesterday morning.
Right?
It's possible.
Is that an early Florida sun?
Well, he actually was in L.A. for the premiere of 80 for Brady. Walked the red carpet last night.
Oh, no way! The sun's not even up in fucking.
Exactly.
No.
So it would make sense if he did, film it or record it last night. I'm sure he had a late night throwing back cocktails with Jane Fonda and all the ladies in that movie.
Gronky.
So, Gronky. So I'm sure he did film it yesterday.
Okay, cool. Let's run this thing for anybody that hasn't seen this Tom retirement video.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point
Morning.
right away. I'm retiring
What?
for good.
No.
I like that part.
I know the process was a pretty
Don't
big
beat
deal
around
last
the bush.
time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. Like, you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me. My family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
Love you, Tom.
Love you too, Tom.
I like it, man. Honestly, that gives me goosebumps watching that.
sure.
Like, it gives me chills. And I want to go Darius Butler, obviously. Darius, would you join us every Wednesday, Thursday, 9-year NFL vet, host
Yes,
of
sir.
Everything DB. D-But, you were drafted to the Patriots. You have played on the same team as Tom Brady. Do you believe he is done? And what are your whole thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I think he's done. Obviously, you saw the emotions. Obviously, it's the second time around as well. But I'm glad that he did it, obviously, on his own terms. Nobody breaking it, before he got a chance to break it. I think that was kind of part of his, strategy, and just doing it kind of from the heart. Looked like he was, taking a little early morning, get that sunrise, the water coming in. That's when you get some clarity and thought. But I feel like it's good for him. Obviously, the booth is next. Interested to see. I know my first thought, because, kind of expected the Tom thing, but, Greg Olsen, obviously he's been killing in the booth. Like, what do they do there? But hate to see him actually lose that seat to Tom. But just great for Tom to wrap it up. Unbelievable teammate. Obviously, being that quarterback, being who he already was by the time I got into the league, but still, carrying himself like one of the guys. Obviously not hanging out with him a bunch off the field, but being one of those guys in the locker room, in the meeting rooms, on the field. So just awesome career, and I'm glad he got a chance to break it himself this time around.
Yeah, I'm happy for him that he was able to do that. But I guess I was always in the camp this whole season, and until yesterday, I felt like Tom was coming back. I said, "There's no way Tom's going to go out like that." But then, what are these reports saying? If Tom said if he did come back, it was only going to be in Tampa Bay. Did you guys hear any of those rumors?
Yeah, I saw that, and I think that also. Well, I wonder if it has to do with the cap, like not wanting to screw the team, because obviously now they have a bunch of dead cap. I was definitely surprised when it happened, just because the thought was there's no way Tom Brady, one of the biggest competitors, if not the greatest competitor of all time, is going to go out 8-9. In that video, obviously he was emotional. Do you guys think he regrets coming back this year just because of how it all went?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, probably. And,
Yes.
a lot of people attributed him coming back to, the divorce or whatever.
Yeah.
And, who knows? You never know what people's personal life. It may have been some other things there. So I think that's why a lot of people felt like he was coming back. Like, look, you settled your divorce, you did that. Obviously you're going to come back and play for not only one, maybe 2 more years with another team. But I'm not shocked. Either way it would have went. If he would have came back, I wouldn't have been surprised if he retired. When he retired this morning, I wasn't surprised either. But once again, just glad that he got a chance to do it this time. I hate, I feel like it's certain stories that, I know everybody has a job to do. But with certain people, certain stories, I think they should be able to do it themselves.
But Tom's got to, what went right this year for Tom to not regret coming back this year?
Well, the only thing I can remember is when they would win some games like midway or towards the end of the year. I guess midway towards the end of the year when they would won a couple games, and Tom was actually able to be happy for winning a game. Remember, they had a couple games where they looked like garbage. They looked like garbage for 3.5 quarters. They put it on. Tom comes to somehow finds a way to lead a drive to win the game when they haven't done anything all day. And then he's like genuinely happy like a kid. That's what I remember from this year.
Yeah, Saints game was the one where they were losing the whole game, and then after he was like, "That was just like we drew it up. That was fucking awesome."
Rams game.
Yep.
Yeah, those are basically the same exact games.
Yep. End of the
Yeah,
game, but,
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers had a few games like that this year because it was such an up and down season, especially early, where I'm like, man, you guys can actually enjoy a victory for once because it's been so routine. I'm like, hey, we always got to be like anxious and nervous for the next one. Can't celebrate this one because we always have another one coming up. I think it's cool when you can actually enjoy a win.
Well, and his like career is so great. We were talking about this kind of a little out there. Like, I don't think anyone's going to look back and be like, well, remember Tom's last season? He kind of fucking stunk,
No,
and
no
you know,
chance.
they went 8-9. Like, he's done so much that they could have gone like 5-12 this year, and it'd still be like, well, it's Tom Brady. I bet we'd still be thinking he's playing next year if they went 5-12 too.
Well, and I assume that's part of it too. Is like, yeah, they went 8-9 and made the playoffs this year, but I don't think he wanted to be one of those guys who decides like, playing for two teams is one thing because he won a Super Bowl and he never got to be a free agent, so he got to experience that. But then if you go to like a third team, if he were to go to Vegas, and who knows how that would have potentially played out, but if he goes to Vegas and they go 7-10 and finish third in the division, like I don't think he wanted to be one of those guys where it's like, oh shit, I really should have retired 2 years ago, and instead, I can't give it up. And now people will remember, like, oh shit, you remember when Tom went to Vegas and kind of everything fell apart and he was forced out as opposed to being able to walk out on his own volition? I don't think he wanted that.
Yeah, and his 3 years in Tampa were obviously successful. You win the Super Bowl the first year, the second year individually. Second year you're runner-up for MVP. And then this year, I think he set a record for completions and attempts in the season. So he didn't go out on top, didn't go out with the Lombardi in his hand, but still went out like, hey, Brady was still a bad motherfucker on the field. So as a competitor, I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, and people forget, like, you look at Tom and you split his career into three different. He could be in the Hall of Fame three different times. Yeah.
Three different decades, basically, right? So, like, I bet it was a daunting task for him to think about, like, okay, if I do want to come back and play, if I want to go somewhere else, and we have this graphic that popped up. I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's Tom Brady in his 20s. Okay, 21,564 passing yards, 147 passing TDs, 3 Super Bowl wins. His 30s, 40,000, a little over 40,000 passing yards, 309 touchdowns through the air and 2 Super Bowl wins. And in his 40s, which is crazy, 27,632 passing yards, 193 passing touchdowns, and 2 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame resume in each decade. That'll never happen again. Like, don't you say, we're pretty confident that's not going to happen again, right?
Yeah, definitely not the Super Bowl titles. The other stuff, I'm not sure because, like, think about how much
titles,
like
right.
Mahomes, and he was the first to do it. Brady, like, being able to play that long, but it feels like now guys are going to be able to play a lot longer, especially with, you can't land on the quarterback anymore. For half of Brady's career, they still had those types of rules, and with the 17-game season, that'll change some. Do those stats include his postseason stats?
Probably not. Right?
Like, I don't even
doubt
think,
it.
Yeah, I don't think those include his postseason pass yards and postseason touchdowns, and it's hard to see anyone breaking those as well. But also, Mahomes has been to the AFC title game every single year of his career.
Well, that's what I think. Tom Curran tweeted it this morning that Brady has played 3 full seasons just in the playoffs, like on top of every, it's Mahomes maybe is the only guy who has an outside chance to do it, but outside of him, I don't think that'll ever get close to being touched.
I instantly went to Fox and thought of them when they heard he was retiring. Are they going to try to maybe ease him in the door for this Super Bowl that obviously Greg Olsen and Burkhardt will be calling? Are they going to try to get him in there, maybe get him on set, maybe have a little pop-up in between the first and second quarter? Are they going to do anything to work him in to try to pay for some of that $350 million?
I could see pregame halftime, but you got, you're not going to take Gronk off set. He's one of the most well-spoken guys on that panel, so you can't take him off of there. I don't know where you.
Tone, it doesn't sound like you're genuine when you make that comment.
What are you talking about?
Gronk is great on there.
I know. I watched every.
My problem is they show the screen, they show the desk, and there's 14 guys on the desk.
There's
so many people. I was like, I remember they went through the whole first segment, I believe, last week, and Gronk didn't get to say anything until after they came back from commercial, where they went and threw it to an interview.
Yeah, exactly.
There's too many people up there.
They should not wheel Brady out for the Super Bowl. This will be this guy's first real TV appearance, and they're going to put him on the most watched.
It can only go
broadcast.
bad, right?
It can only go bad.
It can't be great. You're right. It can't be great. It can only be like, oh, this guy sucks.
Yeah,
Unless
but
he
him and
doesn't sit down.
Gronky could do a fun segment.
That could happen, but he could also do a sit. Like if he did a sit down with the quarterbacks, might be cool.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, if him and Mahomes,
they can edit it too. They can make it look how. You're right. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
actually. Look
they
at you,
chopped
Diggs, just
up
producing for Fox.
That would be unbelievable. They definitely shouldn't put him in the booth though because of how good Greg Olsen has been.
Yeah.
Like Greg Olsen, they've been almost, if not the best booth of the year. It feels like.
Yeah.
So the standard that he is set. I bet Brady actually hates Greg Olsen for how good that he's done this year. Because now Brady's getting that much money. Everyone knows how much money he's getting. And Greg Olsen was unreal the entire season. And Brady has to follow that guy up. Obviously, it's Tom Brady. So, the bar is set at Jason Witten. We shouldn't say the bar is set at Tom Brady or at Greg Olsen. But, like, it's still tough that he has to follow how well those two work together all year.
You guys think Brady will be? How do you think he's going to be in the booth? I personally think he's going to be great.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean,
I don't
Greg
know.
Olsen's
I
been
wonder,
the best I've seen as far as former players, I would say. But I think Brady will be great. What you think?
I hope he's great. I know he has more knowledge than any of us combined in how he sees the game. I just hope he can articulate that like in the short amount of time that you get. I'm sure obviously he'll get, like anybody, you get reps, you get better and better, but I definitely think he could be unbelievable, but until you see him do it, you just never know, I guess.
Yeah, being able to like make it palatable for just like the average viewer and
dumb it down.
Yeah,
To dumb it down for
someone
all
who
of us,
didn't
yeah.
play quarterback in the NFL for 23 years, or however fucking long he did. You hope that's the. I mean, everyone loved Romo when he first started because he kind of was like he was calling out plays, predicting them and stuff like that, and you could tell he was kind of having fun, but he was also prepared. And I don't think Brady will get to the point where Romo's at right now, but man, that's a tough job to, like Greg Olsen.
When everyone knows,
Yeah.
that's the thing, Ty. Sorry to cut you off. When everybody knows you're getting paid this astronomical amount of money to do this, everyone's like, okay, here we go, buddy. Entertain me. Make me laugh, clown. Like, people have those, the bar is already set, I think.
Not just that, but like also, you're gonna have to have chemistry with Burkhardt immediately, and like how much time have those guys spent together? And again, they'll do mock games and shit like that in the off season. You assume, but that's a big deal, because it is very, very evident when it's like, oh, these guys can't fucking stand each other, and they also they're not good at bouncing off each other, and it doesn't feel cohesive. It doesn't feel it's just clunky, and I don't know. You hope that's not the case. Fox too, obviously, when you're paying him that kind of money.
Yeah, like when he was on the Manning cast, I feel like if he sticks to that, like if it's just Tom watching and like kind of breaking down plays and doing that whole side of it and not trying to be like funny or trying to be someone else, like he has all the stories in the world that he can tell about every single team probably, and if he can stick to that instead of trying to be like a funny guy or like a personable guy or relatable guy, because I don't think anybody can relate to Tom Brady. It's not as if he can say stuff where it's like, oh yeah, good call, Tom. That's exactly how
I get
I'm
it.
feeling,
Yeah,
too.
I can put myself in your shoes, Tom. I live the same life as you. Like, yeah, there's nobody saying that.
Yeah, and like that's why he shouldn't try and do that. Like he should just be himself. I don't think he has to really do anything too much or too little because he is Tom Brady. Like if he's just out there telling stories about either players on the field, the fathers of players on the field, or the coaches on each sideline, like that would be unreal. And if he's breaking down defenses on what guys should be doing, that'd be cool. I don't know if he should try the Romo calling out play route because that can only it's either he gets it right and of course he's Tom Brady, he should, or he gets it wrong and Tom Brady's the biggest doofus on the planet because he doesn't know what plays coming.